Good afternoon. Ah, so it's about 90 degrees right now. The plants are really loving the temperature. I mean, between 80 and 90 is like ideal for most tropicals. I mean, they really thrive in these conditions, in these climate. So every week there seems to be some new activity that's happening. Let me show you actually. So ice cream bean tree here, the Inga. If you come closer, I mean, it is finally sprouting out. I mean, look at that. That's just, so you don't see this here every day. I mean, it's just very cool looking. I mean, if you look at the top, I mean, it's awesome. So I could just imagine somebody from the Amazon rainforest, from Brazil, just having to stop by here and say, oh my God, I've seen this tree. It's in my backyard and here it is. So yeah, I mean, I know I keep talking about the mangoes, but there's just something about the new foliage. It's just very attractive looking. I mean, it's like leather just growing. I mean, even this rescue carry starfruit is just making an awesome comeback. I mean, it is practically the shape of a tree. Yeah, most starfruits aren't shaped like this, but this is a tree. Long ends, I mean, buzzing with insect activity here, pollinating the different fruits here. The fragrance is, it's like when you walk by here, you're just hit with this floral scent. It's just all hitting you. It's just quite peaceful. So wanted to talk about a couple of trees that are actually quite easy to grow here as well. I mean, this is continuing on the series of, in my opinion, the easiest trees to grow here in the Central Valley. But I just wanted to kind of give you kind of just the front yard. I mean, the thing with the front yard is, my front yard anyway, is south facing, which means all the tropicals get the full day sun. Well, most of them get the full day sun, including the winter time, which is what these tropicals would like, is full day winter sun. I mean, if you check it out, it's have you seen this before? So here's what a typical cherimoya leaf should look like. And then you've got this. It's like, yeah. He's actually a volunteer cherimoya, neglected for the first year because I actually didn't even notice that he was growing here. But yeah, I mean, again, size of the foliage is insane. But yeah, I'm gonna, a quick update before I forget. For the ones that have been watching my video for a while, as you may recall, at one point we had 2 Mexican papayas here. Fell down because of the wind, and luckily we were able to score a couple of red lady papayas. So yeah, the thing with the red ladies, just like the sunrise papaya in the front, quite delicious, quite compact, and quite heavy producer. So both of these should do really well here. And having learned my lesson, as soon as these get loaded with fruits, I'm going to be supporting both of these. So that way there's really no chance of the wind knocking them out. So I'm going to now take you to the back where I've got the 2 trees that I wanted to talk to you about. Backyard. So before I show you what the trees are, wanted to give you kind of a quick update. I know in the past I keep telling you that if you are able to provide a good microclimate to your trees, they are going to do so much better in the ground. And I have proof of that. So mangosteen. This is the purple mangosteen that I put in the ground 2 months ago. Doing phenomenal. It is, I would guess, to be about maybe a foot tall at this moment. We've got the sprayer that kicks on every other hour. Keeps it nice and cool, and more importantly, keeps it nice and hydrated and nice and humid, which is the growing requirement for a mangosteen. So, and as you can see, relatively shaded, gets morning direct sun for maybe an hour or so in the very early days, and then beyond that, as the sun circles around it, it is all sheltered, shaded. So that's when it's in the ground. Now, here is an identical one, the exact same age as the one that's in the ground. It is roughly about a third the size of the one that's in the ground, and it's in a relatively large container. So if you could put a tree in the ground, I mean, the in-ground trees, and because I've been conditioning my soil for years and years, they are able to tap the roots into the mycorrhizal network, and vast amount of resources is then made available to that tree, keeping them healthy and keeping them well fed. Even the in-ground seedling jackfruits are doing awesome. So yeah, just if you've got the real estate, just put your tree in the ground. They are gonna love you for it. But going back to the trees that I wanted to talk about today, though, Sapote, black Sapote specifically, a tree that does phenomenally here, takes our winter without any issue, loves our summer, including direct sun. So the thing with the black Sapote is they are, if you notice it, they are a heavy producer. I mean, every branch, actually every leaf nodule has a flower that's set or is being formed. So yeah, he is going to be quite a heavy producer. So granted, not every flower is going to form, is going to set fruit, but given the odds of the number of flowers that I have on this tree, I'm fairly confident that there's going to be a good number of fruits that will set. So for the first couple of years, specific to the black Sapote, during the winter time, they may stress out a bit, they may freak out a bit when it encounters frost. And this is traditionally what happens to the foliage when it encounters frost. If you've noticed the foliage, underneath the foliage, it has a tendency to go black like this. But as soon as the weather warms up, though, what's going to happen is the stressed out foliage will fall out, and new ones come to then take out its place. Like for example, these two right here. That's where the old foliage used to be, and of course, new leaves come out to take their place. So that's one thing that can happen to your black Sapote during the winter time. So even though it's got the word Sapote in its name, it's just Sapote by name. It's not even in the Sapote or Cepedella family. It's actually more closely related to the persimmon family. The fruits are, they have the same consistency as chocolate pudding. In fact, its nickname is the chocolate pudding tree. Same consistency, same texture, same color, same taste as literally chocolate pudding. So, chocolate pudding tree, also known as a black Sapote. So as you can see, because of the sheer number of fruits and flowers that are on each branch, I do structurally assist them quite a bit, so that way they can support themselves. So black sapote. The other tree that I wanted to talk about is going to be this guy right here. The opposite of a black sapote from the perspective of the name. A white sapote. So this is really a sapote, as in it's in the sapote / Cepedilla family. This white sapote is actually a subel variety. If you come closer though, there are a number of fruits on this particular tree. This is actually the third year that this tree has produced fruits for us. Last time I count, there were about maybe 15 or so fruits that I spotted on this tree. Probably more, just because they blend in so well, I stopped counting. But the thing with the white sapote tree, the fruits is, it is really insanely delicious. Perhaps one of the best tasting fruits out there. It's like you're biting into a ball of butter that's infused with just sugar. Yeah. The thing with both of these sapote trees is they are going to be on the slower growing side. In fact, both of these trees have been in the ground just about 4 years. I mean, this is what you get for a 4-year-old sapote tree. Specific to the white sapote though, they're not a big fan of our summer. Winter is not an issue. In fact, they like our winter. But again, when they're young, summertime, you want to see if you can provide them with some shade. As you can see, the location that I've got my tree in, summertime, it's practically sheltered. I mean, you've got everything that's surrounding it. And in fact, the Thai jumbo wax jambu here, in the next couple months, once this all goes up, it will too block the 5 p.m. sun. So it likes the heat, but it likes indirect sun. So impressed with the white sapote that I actually got another one. Another white sapote, that is. Let's see. You know what? I keep finding goodies here. Check it out. Sonam cherry. Oh, wait, hold on, there's more. Yeah. This is what you get after a tree's been in the ground year after year after year. You come out to the yard one day and say, oh, geez, it finally started doing something for you. And as it gets older and older, you'll see more of these. But going back to the white sapote though. So here it is. Another white sapote. This particular variety is actually the Vernon sapote. If you look at the foliage, I mean, it really is virtually identical to the subel. But another sapote that is quite good. I mean, white sapote, you really can't go wrong with any variety. As you can see, it is nestled back here, practically sheltered from the sun. In terms of the winter, I actually just leave them here, same with the BQ longan here. I mean, all of these can take the winter without any issues. So that's why it's back here. So anyhow, yeah, just white sapote, black sapote does quite well here in the Central Valley. One of the, well, the fruits you probably won't be able to find anywhere in your local grocery store just because they don't ship well. I mean, as soon as the white sapote ripens on the tree, you've got maybe a few days, just like the loquat, you've got maybe a few days before it goes bad. So yeah, just grow your own. They do well here. They do quite well here. In fact, if you ever stop by the Champa Nursery in Los Angeles. They have a massive white sapote tree right there in the middle of their nursery, and the first time I saw it, I mean, I kid you not, it must have been at least 30 foot tall. That thing was probably there at least 50 years old. But they've since pruned it down heavily. But yeah, the thing was just loaded with fruits every time I stopped by. So yeah, that's what you can expect from a white sapote. So knowing that they can grow quite big, that's why I've got them away from my house and near the center of the yard. So yeah, white sapote, black sapote, another set of two trees that really does phenomenal here in our climate in the Central Valley. Tolerates our clay soil and has really no issues at all with our climate. So, all right, have a good afternoon.